What's up, dudes? This is Vitus Bathory, back here with a wonderful Wednesday video. And that is the most white person thing that I have ever said. I'm back here in the studio. I'm wearing a fucking Bathory self-titled, hoodie. And I'm also wearing Cradle Filth, Dusk and Her Embrace as a t-shirt. Cradle Filth has a great I do love Cradle Filth. They're one of my favorite bands. Dusk in Her Embrace, excellent album. Symphonic black metal, peak cradle, fucking perfect. And Bathory debut, do we even need to talk about it because it's just so fucking monumentally awesome. If you don't like black metal, if you collect metal, or if you don't even listen to black metal and you still don't have Bathory here, what's wrong with you? But today we are not going to be talking about black metal. Today we are going to go over my collection of traditional heavy metal. Now, when I say trad metal, I mean everything from like when the metal bands from the 70s, the new wave of British heavy metal, and that's pretty much it. Now, this is gonna be a rule. Whenever I do collection showcases, CDs are always gonna be first. So let's just start off with some traditional metal CDs. Once again, this is completely raw, unfiltered, unedited, unprepared, just the way I like it. And hopefully you like it too. Thanks. Now, enough talk, let's get into the CDs. Now, this first one is really, really important, not just for me, but probably for all of you too. Black Sabbath Paranoid. Personally, I have called this the greatest metal album of all time because usually the first of everything is oftentimes the best. This is actually my mom's, and this was life changing. Damn, I think this is my mother's, right? She's a big a rock fan. We've actually been to concerts together. I found this in my closet, or in her closet, when I was 12 years old. I listened to it, changed my life, and now I'm here and I'm listening to Black Sabbath, and I have all these posters on my wall. So thank you to my mom, but thank you to Black Sabbath too. Completely, it's just amazing. If you're looking for something slow, awesome, just it's classic. What can I say? I have to sing fucking sagas of songs just to give this praise. Black Sabbath Paranoid. If you don't listen to this, even as a metalhead, even if you're not a metalhead and you don't listen to this, what the fuck is wrong with you? Rip Ozzy, Black Sabbath. Now moving on, we have something with a broken fucking jewel case because I don't know how that happens. Probably got damaged on the flight over. We got Screaming for Vengeance by Judas Priest. Now a lot of people see, look at that, it fucking broke. I need to figure out how to fix this. I found this in a Barnes and Noble 2001 pressing. I found this in a Barnes and Noble in Anchorage, coming from Alaska. It's a great fucking record. But a lot of people call Judas Priest new wave of British heavy metal, mainly because of this album. But I mean, Judas Priest was before the new wave of British heavy metal, so this technically would not be new album. However, it is a great freaking Judas Priest record, a great metal record. And personally, I do believe that this is better than British Steel. Not calling British Steel a bad record, just this one is just monumentally superior. It's so awesome. My friend, the singer of Iron Cross from Canada, he has this on his back patch. Or he has this as a back patch on his battle vest, and it's super fucking cool. Judas Priest. And there are only two bands slightly better than that. Go listen to it. Now here we go, we're getting into the good stuff. We have Iron Maiden, Peace of Mind. Personally, I know this is going to be a hot take, but I do believe that Peace of Mind is a better album than Number of the Beast. When you listen to it through all angles of reality, it's just to me it's just simply superior. And no, I'm not just saying because of like the single, The Trooper. It's like everybody knows The Trooper. I heard it was in the Stranger Things episode. I never got into Stranger Things, so I wouldn't know. But Iron Man was posting about it, so probably. I love the CD cover on that, where it's just a brain as a centerpiece and some food, and you got all the guys there at dinner. Fucking Peace of Mind. It's a 1983 classic, one of the best metal albums of 1983. Just go listen to it. Oh, here we go. Now we have Number of the Beast. Now, let me get into a reason why I think Peace of Mind is a better album. I'm not calling this album bad, I just think it's majority, other than fucking, like, Number of the Beast and Hallowed Be Thy Name. And maybe The Prisoner, because The Prisoner is my favorite Iron Maiden song off this album. One of my favorite Iron Maiden albums overall. I just think this is mostly filler. I mean, I'm not saying like the filler songs are bad, but like when you put an album just full of fillers just to get to the next like songs you dubbed as your single, like come on, man, this is not. It's it's very exciting, but not at the same time. It needs more variety. It can get kind of boring at times, kind of overplayed, but it's still fucking classic. Number of the Beast, 666, I think. Now here we go. We have a lot of Iron Maiden here. And this is possibly the second best live album in all of heavy metal. The first one, obviously, being No Sleep Till Hammersmith, even though that's rock and roll. Don't matter. I found this in a record store in New Hampshire, but I do not remember the record store. I would totally give them a shout out. Like a channel of like a channel of 35 subscribers is gonna do anything for a monumentally popular record store. This is the only live album that I have in my collection, mainly because I don't think the quality of my player would be able to play live albums that well. However, this is just a classic, and it actually is recorded halfway decently. And this is probably like the best Iron Maiden cover out there. It's very triumphant. It's just beautiful. Second best live album of all heavy metal. Go listen to it. And now we have one of our last CDs here, and this is very misunderstood and underrated. Iron Maiden Fear of the Dark. I simply do not understand why people don't like this album. It's a different approach to Maiden, whereas compared to Power Slave or A Number of the Beast, I know it's a completely different direction. It was kind of a wonky period for Maiden. However, I think they still pumped out a freaking classic. And I'm not just talking about the title track, but they have some pretty excellent songs here, like Wasting Love or Be Quick or Be Dead. It's a different Iron Maiden, but you just have to go into it. Just like, don't go into this album expecting Number of the Beast or Peace of Mind. Go into it expecting, go into this album expecting a weird Iron Maiden album, and I see nothing wrong with this. Alright, that's all the CDs. I do have a Motorhead CD that I did forget to grab, but it was like a best of compilation. And that was a Yule gift from one of my friends from previous Christmas time, so thank you to her. Alright, now it's time for the LPs. And we're kicking off the theme once again with some more Iron Maiden, but now it's my favorite Iron Maiden album, the debut. If you are looking for something that is probably, if you're looking for like good, classic, new album with a little bit of a punk feel to it, this is the album for you. I mean, it's just fucking classic. This is everything great about Iron Maiden. They weren't even like. This is everything great in Iron Maiden before like everybody knew them. It's like songs like my favorite Iron Maiden song is off this album, Phantom of the Opera. That is my favorite Iron Maiden song. But all the songs, there's no bad songs here. They all flow into each other perfectly. They're also classic. Transylvania is a freaking musical it's just a masterpiece. This album is a masterpiece, and it'll always be my favorite Iron Maiden album. Debut. Go buy it and go listen to it. This is a fuck. When this is press? 2014 press. Yeah. Oh, what's this? Oh yeah. These records have no particular order. I know like the CDs were kind of like in alphabetical order, but I kind of lost it. Now this is gonna be something real interesting because this is an original pressing of Accept's Ball to the Ball Balls to the Wall, an original pressing. Dude, this album is super underrated. If you're looking for fist pumping, heavy, headbangable heavy metal, classic heavy metal from Germany of all places, Because when you think of heavy metal, you think of the United States and England, obviously, but Germany knows what's up. And Accept is the band for you. And don't just listen to the title track. What was that? Winners and Losers and Winners. Dude, that's my favorite. It's like probably my favorite Accept song as it is. I don't even know what to say. It's just classic. And classic and criminally underrated. You should go listen to it, man. Accept Balls to the Wall. You get your balls to the wall, man. It's just freaking it. Oh, and it completely went in a different direction than how Accept began. But it was a good direction. Accept. Go buy it. But most importantly, go listen to it. Oh, here we go. This is a very important album to all of us, and that's because it's Ozzy's The Blizzard of Oz. Definitely top 5 heavy metal records ever, and I'm not just saying that because Ozzy died. Like, when you just throw this on the player and listen to it, it's just fucking beautiful. Completely, Ozzy definitely was back on his feet after he got fired from Black Sabbath, and it fucking shows. And Randy Rhoads solos on this, they're freaking tight. This was a Christmas gift from my family actually when I was 13. I'm a huge Ozzy fan, and actually, story time. Ozzy was supposed to go on a North American tour in 2019 with Megadeth. However, the tour got canceled because of it was either ammonia, and he canceled the tour. So it was super unfortunate. However, what can we really do now? This is my first picture disc, actually, and I really considered about hanging it up. But if I hang it up, how am I gonna listen to it? Because I mean, with records, you gotta have to listen to them. You can have to listen to them. Of course, you see my fucking Merciful Fate bootleg hanging right there. So what can I say? Maybe my favorite song of this record. I don't know. And I'm not just saying because I don't know what my favorite song is. It's track 1. I don't know. And obviously, Suicide Solution, Goodbye to Romance, No Bone Movies. It's excellent. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. And now we're gonna take a little bit of a detour into some rock and roll. And that's our next record is my second favorite record of all time, Motorhead's Overkill. See, Motorhead was completely inspired by old time rock and roll. So like Elvis, Little Richard, Eddie Cochran, and it shows here. And it's very, very bluesy. Doesn't matter how fast it is, doesn't matter how intense it is. For 1979, like, this is. What did Razorfist say? It was a nuclear warhead? No, he said that about Bathory, but this is a freaking H bomb for 1979. I found this at a record store in Shrewsbury, England. No, it wasn't even a record store. It was just like a department store that had records in it. But overall, it's freaking amazing. Second favorite record. I've been listening to this ever since I was 12, dude. 12 years old, I've been listening to Motorhead. Freaking all the songs are good. Everything from Overkill to Limb from Limb, which I think Limb from Limb is my favorite off this one. I love the down-paced bluesiness of it. But of course, songs like No Class or Tear You Down, I'll Be Your Sister, they all incorporate the bluesy type feel and also the rock and roll and maybe a teeny tiny bit of punk in there. I mean, with this one, it kind of went in a different direction, whereas the first Motorhead record went. But overall, it is very, very tight. Second favorite album, Motorhead, Rip Lemmy, Rip Fast, Rip Filthy Animal, Score. And now here we go. Just buckle in for a little bit because I do have the original Motorhead record, 1977, which rock and roll first and foremost, and maybe a little bit of elements of hard rock and punk rock, to be honest. Because Lemmy always said that Motorhead started out as a punk band, and which, if you listen to this record, it shows with the raunchy production. It's mainly just because of the music. When you look at the lyrics, it's mainly like based upon like blues lyrics or just maybe like space rock lyrics. Yeah, and you could definitely hear like Lemmy was still hanging on to Hawkwind at the time when listening to this record. However, it is super punk, but I had to throw it into the heavy metal category too because long hair. Like I said, Motorhead has no bad records, and there's quite frankly no bad songs on here. I want to say my favorite song from this record has to be Vibrator and The Watcher. Oh, and Keep Us on the Road. Dude, this is fucking tight. Motorhead has been killing it ever since their debut. Go listen to Motorhead's debut. It's a lot more punk and hard rock than it is heavy metal, but I'll throw it in here because it's fucking Motorhead. Rock and roll forever, homeboy. That's some more editing I have to do. But we're moving on. Excuse me about that. Excuse me about that. Alright. More Motorhead. We got Iron Fist. Iron Fist, like, this was pretty much like the last album in the classic Motorhead lineup. I know there was people in the band before. Yeah, it was Larry Fox and another guy. But this is pretty much the last record with the classic lineup of Lemmy, Fast, and Filthy. And I think wasn't it like Fast Eddie Clarke who produced this? This is a 2002 pressing. The 2022, 20 years later after 2002. No bad songs, a really really good production, and like a lot of people say that the title track of Being Iron Fist is probably the greatest Motorhead song of all time. And to be honest, when I think Motorhead, I think Iron Fist. Of course, I think Ace of Spades or Overkill or even Inferno, but I think of the song Iron Fist. That's where it's at, man. Iron Fist. So much good to say about it. But my voice kind of hurts. Sounds annoying, but I gotta move on. Alright, here we go. We got Bomber, which was a twin release. Well, not exactly twin release, but they did come out in the same year as Overkill, being 1979. And if you're looking for blues Motorhead, it is right here, bud. This is probably the bluesiest Motorhead record, not only in just like songwriting, but I mean songwriting and given how the songs are played. I mean, just look at that. If you can see in the background there, I have a Motorhead. I have the Bomber poster because I mean this record came with a poster. That's where a lot of my flags and posters come from. The records, very underrated too. As a Motorhead record and just as a record from like the 70s, a metal record from the 70s is criminally underrated as well. The songs are just so good. It just tears your head off as soon as you throw it on the player with Dead Men Tell No Tales. Dead Men Tell No Tales, that song has always stuck with me and I fucking love Bomber. Underrated, get it rated, go buy it, go listen to it. Right? And yeah, I do own all the classic Motorhead records, so you probably know what's coming next. And that's right, Ace of fucking Spades. I do believe that this is probably like where Motorhead's new direction went. This is just it's a monumental album, and I would probably say like the greatest metal album, rock album, hard rock and roll album of 1980. All the songs are killer. Of course, like the title track is freaking amazing, obviously, but there's so much gold to be found in this record. Like what? Love Me Like a Reptile, Fire Fire. Oh, was it? The Chase is Better Than the Catch. Come on. This is everything that Motorhead is. Rock and roll, metal, punk. Well, I actually don't hear a lot of punk in this record, to be honest, but it's Motorhead. And these guys just look fucking intimidating. Just imagine you're in some fucking, like, western. You're dying of dehydration. And you fall to your knees and you look up and these guys are staring at you. Yeah, I think you should just give up and die. Ace of Spades. It's a classic, but it's a classic for a reason. Rip Lemmy, Rip Fast, and Rip Filthy. Animal Taylor. Alright, that's all the Motorhead records I do have, but I'm going to talk about these two records at the same time because I know this is kind of a hot take, a little teeny tiny bit, but I do believe that this band is heavy metal. A lot of people like to call him hard rock, but to me it's just too heavy to be hard rock, and it's certainly not glam metal. Because that's motherfucking Scorpions. Dude, if you ever see Scorpions live, they'll prove to you how much of a fucking metal band that they are. A traditional heavy metal band, albeit Blackout, is a freaking classic. Love at First Sting, oh my god. I'd say this is probably the most metal out of the both of these, but it's metal for a reason. Just listen to Coming Home. If that is not a heavy metal track, then I don't know what your definition of heavy metal is. It's not glam, it's not hard rock, because it's simply too heavy to be considered hard rock, dude. And even their 70s albums, that was way too heavy. It's like hard rock. That's like AC/DC. This blows AC/DC out of the water. If you don't believe that Scorpions is a metal band, or you want to be like Euronymous from Lord of Chaos, just fuck that guy. Put this on your just put this on your player and just listen. Don't just listen with your ears, man. Listen with your heart and with your soul, and maybe with your cock too if you have one of those. Heavy metal. Scorpions, Love at First Sting, Blackout, not bad records. Love them. Germany, they know how to do their heavy metal. Now here we go. Now we have King Diamond Fatal Portrait, which a lot of people like to joke and say that this is the third Merciful Fate record. Which obviously, like King Diamond leaving Merciful Fate, which is probably one of the most heavy metal stories within metal, because if you guys don't know, Hank Sherman, the guitarist of Merciful Fate, he wanted to take Merciful Fate in a practically a glam metal direction, and which the king himself was like, you know what, fuck this, this isn't metal, and decided to form his own solo band. Or he just wanted to form a band, and everyone was like, hey, we should just call it King Diamond. I've had the honor to see King Diamond on his most recent tour, St. Lucifer's Hospital, the North American one, not the European one with Angel Witch. This record is so good. It definitely has remnants of Merciful Fate, and not to mention, like at the time when this was released and King Diamond Band was doing shows, they would also do like a butt ton of Merciful Fate songs too. You could definitely hear the Fate in here, but it's definitely like it's a metamorphosis. It's like it's Merciful Fate becoming. I know they're two different bands. It should be treated as two different bands, despite fucking King Diamond being the icon he is in metal. The king of heavy metal, excuse me. Completely different direction. And all the songs are fucking killer. The subplot, I mean, this is pretty much when King Diamond wanted to write horror stories within music, which I think he is the best concept album writer of all time. If you want a concept album, get King Diamond to write it. He'll make it spooky and he'll make it work. Oh, every song here I love. It's like what, like Lurking in the Dark? That's my favorite King Diamond song. Haunted, The Candle. I saw The Candle perform live and it was awesome. Transitional period for the Danish man himself. He came out of the gates swinging. Fatal Portrait. Go fucking buy it. And that's actually my favorite King Diamond album, to be honest. Oh, here we go. We're reverting back to Iron Maiden because that's my second favorite Iron Maiden album, Power Slave. Dude, this is a freaking classic. And probably, besides from The Trooper and Hallowed Be Thy Name, the most recognizable Iron Maiden songs come from here. 2 Minutes of Midnight and Aces High. I apologize, my voice kind of hurts. And it kind of sounds annoying and nasally. So I apologize. Ancient Egyptian themed. Freaking, it works. It freaking works. 1984 was a gold mine when it came to heavy metal. And this just freaking proves it. It's classic. It's a teeny tiny bit of prog, which I have no problem with. You really gotta pay attention to the musicality of everybody in the band. You know. This second favorite Iron Maiden album, I don't know what to say about it. It's fucking sick. Go buy it and go listen to it. Maybe that'll just be a synonymous meaning. Oh, here we go. We got more from the K-Man, and that is King Diamond, Fatal Portrait, Abigail, 1987. freaking what do we have here? We have the greatest concept album. Not just horror story, not just blah blah blah, or not just the greatest concept in trad. No, this is the greatest concept album in heavy metal. And this is one of the greatest top 10 heavy metal albums ever, period. It's spooky, it's perfect, all the songs are top notch. Freaking I envy you guys who what was it, Songs for the Dead? That was the live album where he performed Abigail just top to bottom. That's freaking perfect. And the musicality here, dude. The riffs are killer. The solos are freaking eerie. King Diamond's voice is ring wraith levels. And just look at those motherfuckers. If those guys aren't metal, go to therapy. You know. I love the story of just like, Victorian horror story, which we don't really see a whole lot of. Most of horror stories takes place in like modern day or like medieval times. Beautiful story, beautiful album. Hail to the king and his compatriots. Alright, what's next? Probably the greatest album coming out of the 70s, and that is Judas Priest's Sad Wings of Destiny. Dude, this is my second favorite Judas Priest record. And it's just, what can I really say about it? It's just beautiful. Like, I don't even put this on the record that much. I don't even put this on the player that much because it's just too beautiful to look at. It's very sacred. It is a very sacred record. Probably very iconic. And I have at times said that Victim of Changes is probably the greatest heavy metal song ever written. And it shows. My second favorite Iron Maiden. Judas Priest song comes from here, that being Tyrant. Freaking love Tyrant. It is definitely a very different direction than Rock'n'Rolla. We all know that Black Sabbath invented metal, right? We all agree. Black Sabbath, first metal band, they created it. It was their creation. However, Judas Priest took Black Sabbath's creation and perfected it. We all owe it to Judas Priest, man. Judas Priest. Sad Wings of Destiny. 70s classic, best album of the 70s. Go buy it. Now here we have more Priest with British Steel. This is practically a new direction. See, they're not new album, but they probably saw what was going on in like the late 70s, early 80s, and of course for album for like 1980. I love this record. It is a freaking classic. I mean, everybody knows Breaking the Law and Living After Midnight, but you really have to look into the deep dives of this album. The tracks that nobody really talks about, not like the mainstream metal dudes talk about, or all the news outlets. You gotta listen to songs like The Rage. Dude, you can definitely hear the influence it has on other bands. If you listen to other trad bands or even thrash bands, you can definitely hear a lot of influence coming from this album. And it is really, really hard to think that this was Priest's sixth album. When everybody thinks of Priest, they usually think of like 80s Priest or Painkiller, you know? But just this being their sixth album, it just proves to show that Judas Priest was always consistent and always with the times, I guess. I mean, Priest can do whatever the fuck they want. Rob Halford's the metal god, after all. British Steel, everybody. It's a classic. You gotta listen to more than just the title tracks or the most popular songs. There's some gold on there. Now, here we go. Here we have a very fucking classic from another hero, Holy Diver by Dio. And that all rhymed, and I did not plan that. This album is fucking sacred. It's a classic metal album. 1983. Dude, Dio's been around for a long time. When it comes to making music, he was in Elf, then he was in Rainbow, then he sung in Black Sabbath, and when he was done in Sabbath, he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do my own thing. And he came out of the gates with his own stuff strong, dude. Headbangable, kind of power metal-y, one of the greatest albums, period. It doesn't have to be metal, just, this is perfect. and very influential for its certain anime. I'm sorry, my voice really hurts, so I don't really know what to say other than go listen to it. And don't just listen to Holy Diver. Yes, Holy Diver, excellent song. But go listen to fucking Shot Through the Heart, or Invisible, or Don't Talk to Strangers. Caught in the Middle. Caught in the Middle. Freaking buy it. Rip Dio. Alright, now we're approaching the end, but we still have one more after this. My favorite Black Sabbath record, Master of Reality. Dude, this is where Doom, Stoner Doom, Funeral Doom, all of the Doom metal subgenres, this is where it comes from. I mean, ultimately, this is where heavy metal came from as well. For 1971, dude, Into the Void being released at this time, dude, if you were to listen to Into the Void, that's like a song you would expect to at least hear in the late 70s or at least the mid 80s, not in 1971. It's before Vietnam was over. Freaking, this album is so heavy. It is head splittingly heavy for an album from the early 70s. Wow. I And that's just crazy to think about. All right, just think for a second. Just imagine 1971 and think of this record. It kind of doesn't mix well, but it's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And it's really, really dark too, which I love. And what I love about this record is that the lyric sheet is on the back of the record itself, which I really do enjoy. When was this pressed? It's probably on the inside, which I really don't want to get on the inside right now. Hail the gods. Oh, and now finally we come to our last record. Probably. I mean, what more is there to say other than the original heavy metal record? I'm just gonna show this to you guys right here. I'm not gonna say a word. Moment of silence. Just out of pure reverence for this album. This is pretty deep, to be honest. If it wasn't for this record, you and me, we probably wouldn't have long hair. We wouldn't have battle vests. We wouldn't have these posters. You probably wouldn't even be watching my channel. My channel wouldn't even exist. I don't even know what I'd be doing. You and me, as metalheads, we owe it all to this record. So I guess we should just, kneel to it, I guess. This is one of the first ever. No, actually, this was my first record, to be honest. A gift from when I turned 13. This is so amazing. 2016 press. So serves a purpose. Beautiful. And this is kind of extended too. It has 2 discs in it, and it has outtakes and singles and demos. It's perfect. Essential Sabbath, essential metal. It's our origin. Well, you lovely people, that's all I really have. That's all my trad heavy metal albums. Now tell me, what is your favorite trad metal album that you either own or just overall enjoy? Well, thanks for tuning in and checking out my records. I hope my voice didn't annoy you too bad. Well, I've been Vitus Bathory, and you've been awesome. Stay fucking metal.